Okay, good afternoon everyone. My name is Ville Hamunen and I'm from the company called Smoke. Somebody might previously. And today's team is the London 60,000 zoning plans and how we use QGIS.
Can you get the microphone?
Sure.
Can you get the microphone?
Okay. Yes, okay, that's okay. Just a little bit about our company, the Useful LTD. We were founded on 2012 and we are now, if I remember correctly, with a couple of summer trainings. And what we do, we do consulting for the post-4G solutions for different companies, mostly in Finland. And we also develop software, QGIS plugins, and also QGIS core. We also train companies, and we have had over 100 customers, and within those over 1,000 people. We do QGIS, PostGIS, GeoServer, GIS Python, so forth. All kind of trainings. We also support our customers who use Post4G. We have online support service for our customers. And what we are talking about today is regarding to this kind of pilot project that we executed in Finland. It was funded by the Ministry of Environment and mainly organized by the Finnish Environment Institute. And the aim of this project is to build an environment information system that collects, we try to collect all land use and building data provided to different municipalities in Finland. And this project we call VOKA, V-O-O-K-A, pilot, started last year and finished this year. And it's now continuing for 4 years until 2030. What we did on this pilot project, or the aim of this project was to collect the external boundary data for current lands in this called South Savonia region in Finland from their municipalities. And also attach the planning documents to all of this GIS data. And it was a quite operation because in this region we have over 20 different municipalities, and the data was quite scattered all over. And how it was scattered, follow on the next slide. There was a big automation process for the data collection and analysis and putting the data together. It was mostly done with Python script. And now we are done with the pilot project, and the same group of people continued with the next phase in Finland, and now the execution is done for the following years until 2030. Maybe not the same group, but now we continue with the same group of people for the next region. So, when we started to collect the data from the municipalities, we already knew that the data would be quite scattered. There were quite a lot of challenges to tackle. The first, when we went through the data, it was in quite many formats. Quite few yet on the post-4G applications, a couple were. So we have the geometries type of formats, also shapefile, PNG, different kind of CAD forms, DWG, DXF, also the file forms, PDF, images, TIFF, tab, and also web forms like VNS, for example. And like you can see from the image images we collected from the data that it was quite broken overall. There were data and activity errors quite a lot in the data. Also, because the municipalities use the coordinate systems, the coordinate system didn't match. And also there were quite a lot of topological errors, mostly related to the CAD programs or the data done with the CAD programs. And they mostly didn't include the coordinates either. Even though the topic said that the QGIS came to the rescue, we had quite a big process of automation. The processing data first, and then it came to the QGIS for manual work. And we had the quite complicated ETL, which somebody doesn't know comes from the versus extract, transform, and load process. And now, because I try to include as much as possible the QGIS, I also discuss most about the transform process or the automation process we did. And there was a program called GeoMaps, which we use as an extended in Python, that we include and process the geospatial data no problem. A couple of scripts or the operators released their geometry validity that will check if what is the error that it gives for the data. Also, calculate geometry validity percentage that is matching the data or the borderlines of the data we were trying to pick up with the other reasonable data source, and we try to match at least 98% accuracy with that. And it gave us some percentage with the automation code that it gives. In the worst case, it was close to 50%, that was fixed, and in the most best cases, 99% some percentages. And for example, make values is the operation that if we had a lot of overlaps or duplicate data sources or data with the geometry errors, it tries to make the data to simple multi-polygon layer, or if there are a lot of overlapping layers, it tries to create a geometry collection that you can choose of which layer, or if you want to all the layers you can do that. And the other thing that gave us a problem was the tolerance, how to match the order values. That we had a reference data that we tried to use or we tried to validate the percentage of correct data, and we used the different tolerance values, which is usually in millimeters, or you can use pixel values. You can try to match the borderlines between the different polygons, even match the one pixel precise. But we faced that because the data from the different municipalities was quite scattered and they had different coordinate systems. We couldn't use the same tolerance, so we had to provide different tolerance values from the different data sources from different municipalities, so it wasn't that simple tolerance value. Also, the ETL process created quite a lot of these remote enclaves, that if we had a data source or polygon from one municipality, they might have had smaller polygon outside the one municipal value, so those remote enclaves had to be removed. And there's an example of one municipality that when we did the geometry, there were 852 polygons in total and gave 352 geometry errors. So the data was quite corrupt in that way and had to be fixed. Okay then, yeah, I'm changing the part, but I guess the main part is the QGIS, which was mainly in this process the quality assurance tool. And I wrote that what the ice cannot see, some QGIS tool will probably do. And from the left side we have the data from one municipality, which doesn't have a filling color, it only shows the borderlines. And on the right side is written one simple geometry check. I think I put it on the check just to check that if the polygons next to each other are all land. So it usually gives quite a lot of geometry errors in this regard. So, couple ways. In the ETL process, you can try to automate and you can try to do different kind of solutions, but in that way also, when we took and we actually drove the ETL process to different municipality data separately, and then we took the quality control on the QGIS side. And the results were at that point quite scattered also, the error values mostly. And I listed a couple QGIS tools that somebody might be familiar with, and I think that nobody probably have used all of these, so if you have, congratulations, and I hope that from this list somebody can pick up some tool to check out to test your data from the topological check pairs. A couple of very simple tools: check validity, geometry checker, topology checker, and mixed geometries. You have the different attributes, and I would say that there are a couple of practical differences that you can turn to try to fix the data. Also, I try to find suitable tools from press also, or GDA library that was quite lacking still. So if somebody has some other suggestions for the proper tools to add to the list, just give me a note of that. Would like to try those out. And eventually, I would say that after the ETL process, we had quite a lot of work had to try quite a lot of different tools to check out how well with these tools we could finalize or fix the geometry errors that we reached that desirable 98% that we were aiming for this project. And to conclude, with also the future plans for following years within these projects, would be the time consumption that should be used multiple autonomous processes because they don't always apply to all data. And in these kind of processes, because now this even though I said in the beginning that the process will be executed during the next 7 years until 2030, then there might be some, because it's financed by the government, so we go almost one region at a time. But because we find that there's quite a lot of scattered information and the lack of the data within the different municipalities, that we cannot establish that we can build any artificial process within the ETL that fix everything. And for the following different regions, we are more than sure about that. We will change the region, we face similar problems, probably in something else also. So the question came to my mind that it's faster to manually get data. Now we are dealing with even one municipality, and the municipalities vary from the sizes of other ones. And in Finland, I would say that the average number for the municipality would be something between 1,000 and 5,000 different polygons to go through. And I think that's even though it could be 1,000 one municipality, it would be quite a lot of work to go through for one or two persons and manually digitize it with the QGIS. So in this regard, the other question would be the accuracy, that the artificial process is always a compromised process. That what would be the reasonable accuracy for this final project or the final data. And in our case, I think we aim quite high because we wanted to 98% accuracy with the data. And if we would put it a little down, then I would say that these more simple autonomous processes, you can tweak them a little bit, do a couple of different tweaks on those, and try to drive it through and check if the quality check would be close to 90% or something like that. And then see that if you have still money left, work hours to do, to go through the manual way for the final check of data. For the following years, now for the ongoing project, we start with the next region that's going for the following year. We are doing a little bit of tweak for the ETL process and try to find a couple of these compromised ways to try to find the good way, or try to find out if there's going to be for a handful of processes that we try all of them through, would we reach the desirable accuracy with the final data. And what comes to my work table would be the QGIS process. So I have planned that I will probably do this kind of a workflow loop for the executing selection of the tools. So I was planning for the previously mentioned list of the tools to build up the workflow loops to go through the data with all these different tools. And if it returns a desirable percentage value for the data we want, then it goes through. But if it's not desirable, then it will go back to the loop and choose a different tool, and then run it through and run all the processes through until it reaches a desirable percentage of the data accuracy.